Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dalton from the Petrol List, and welcome to the Monday video. Formula One silly season it's in full swing. It's going on. There are plenty of elephants in the room that I could talk about today, but I'm going to talk about one in particular, and obviously that is going to be the Christian Horner investigation.
Hey, what's going on? It's the Petrol List.
Red Bull team boss Christian Horner, he's been accused by a certain female employee of inappropriate and controlling behavior. I guess that is associated with, what she's saying his management style is. There was an 8-hour meeting on Friday, and I guess it had interviews and surveys and investigations that included, tons of Red Bull Formula One team employees, including the accuser, including car designer Adrian Newey. So they kind of went all up and down there, and there was no resolution. So it's still ongoing. Christian Horner is standing by his innocence, and there hasn't been a lot of detail about the transgressions that were committed. It seems like all the detail is kind of around. So I guess what we're going to do is we'll do a little bit of speculating. So Christian Horner has been with Red Bull since the team began, way back in 2005. So there have been, I want to say, 7 drivers' championships under his watch, along with constructors championships, and he is currently the manager of the incumbent world drivers champion, as well as constructors championship team. And so interestingly, I'm going into opinion here. There's no way right now to get rid of Christian Horner. If you're into that, if you want to get rid of Christian Horner, you can't pull a Gene Haas and just say, hey, the team isn't doing well, we need more performance. Red Bull is having maximum performance right now, so logic would have that you would not want to get rid of the person who has pulled all of that together midstream. Now, let me give you a little more context here. So Red Bull itself did not leak the fact that there was an investigation going on. I mean, this kind of investigation, if it's not criminal, if it's not sexual, which arguably is criminal as well, you would think that it would be handled internally and just through HR, and somebody would have to go through some sensitivity training or something like that, and maybe a performance plan, something. I don't know how it works at that level, but it seems like it wouldn't be huge international news, unless somebody wanted to deteriorate Christian Horner's credibility. Now, this was leaked by De Telegraaf, which is a Dutch publication, and just so happens to have close ties to the Verstappen family. Now, Jos Verstappen does not like Christian Horner, apparently, because they have a difference of opinion when it comes to who is lead driver. Now, Christian Horner is totally cool with the fastest driver being the lead driver. That's how he is. I think that's how it should be. I agree with that. But he also says that if somebody else comes in and is faster, then they will be the lead driver. Okay, makes sense. Apparently that's not what Jos Verstappen likes. And apparently the reporter who leaked the fact that there is an investigation going on has close ties to Jos. But it doesn't stop there. Since the original co-founder of Red Bull died, Dietrich Mateschitz, I may have spelled his name wrong. I may be pronouncing his name wrong, so feel free to correct me in the comments. But since he died sadly, it sounds like there's been a power struggle, not just with the Red Bull Formula One team, but just Red Bull, the parent company, and one of the main people that is disapproving of this power struggle is one of the chairpersons, Oliver Mintzlaff. I think he is the one who said that Christian Horner was too senior and too expensive. And so if he were looking for a reason or way to get rid of Christian Horner, then this kind of investigation would be kind of, the gift that keeps on giving. Sully his name, make him, unsustainable to investors and whatnot, and then eventually get him out of there. I don't know if that's the case. I'm going based on the information that I have, or better yet, the information that I don't have. And when it comes to big money, and dare I say, GOV kind of things, I put nothing past anyone when they're trying to get what they want. If they want, a certain member of their team gone because there's a conflict and they feel uncomfortable, that person goes. If they want someone to, win a certain championship, Abu Dhabi, then, that tends to happen. And so when it comes to this kind of thing, clearly, shadiness is possible. But I'm not saying, innocence or guilt. There's no way I could say that. All I'm saying is Formula One in the last few years, and I guess, in the last few decades, really, but in the last few years, they've had some fairly shady things happen where it seems like stuff has been orchestrated. I'm not a Christian Horner fan. I'm not a Red Bull and Max Verstappen fan, but I hate to see, a legacy team who's been doing really well. I hate to see them toppled over something like this, or disrupted over something like this, unless the allegations are both serious and true. But right now, we have really no way of knowing that. So there are a couple of motivating factors between Jos and the existing Red Bull leadership to why Christian Horner could be getting, pushed out. Will he survive? Will he stay the team boss in 2024? I've got no clue. But, this initial investigation, like I said, did not yield any results. Now, testing for Formula One starts on February 20th, and the first race is March 2nd. So there's not a whole lot of time to get this resolved before the season is actually in mid-swing. And it would be super strange for Formula One to get rid of, for Red Bull to get rid of their team boss in the middle of a season, unless there was something that was absolutely criminal. Otherwise, you just have a difference of opinion or a difference in leadership style. So it still remains to be seen. That's all I have. I think that's all anybody has. Will he be around? I don't know. Is everything founded? Are the allegations founded? I don't know. Is it orchestrated? I don't know. Lots of unknowns. Okay. Let's talk really quickly about Lewis Hamilton's replacement over Formula One over at Mercedes. Super complicated. And I've been hearing that, they might pull Sebastian Vettel out of retirement and make him the driver. Or people are kind of looking at Fernando Alonso as the driver. I think both of those are kind of problematic because we're talking about world champion drivers here. And at that point, who do you pick as lead driver? Now, one could say that Sebastian Vettel could come in and be the secondary driver and, just kind of cruise around the circuits. Hey, he's already been there. He's already done that. He's not really driving for real. He's just, collecting a paycheck. Maybe that's more viable than Fernando Alonso, who is still very much actively on the grid and trying to win races. And so then you end up with the same problem that you had with Lewis Hamilton versus George Russell. Now, I think that perhaps the most logical choice would be to grab Carlos Sainz. He's a great driver. He was number 2, quote unquote, at Ferrari, even though I think he's got more wins than Leclerc over the last 2 seasons. But he played that, that secondary role. And I think, especially since he's out of a seat, there's more leverage that Toto Wolff could use and say, hey, you're going to be the secondary driver here. Do I think Sainz is better than Russell? I do. So it's kind of awkward. But, I mean, I think that's the most logical choice. You've got more leverage. Bringing Seb out of retirement, who knows if he's going to agree to be, secondary driver. Bringing Alonso over, who knows if he's going to agree to be secondary driver. If you bring it over or bring up Kimi Antonelli, there's still time. You still have to do the stopgap for a while. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot of time before we figure out who is going to be replacing Lewis Hamilton, but I guess we'll find out when we get there. Some cars have been revealed. The Mercedes car is going to be revealed on February 14th. Besides paint jobs, I don't really know how much we can tell from just the car being revealed. Do I like deliveries? Yeah, I think so far so good. Deliveries are looking, pretty decent. But I mean, what I really care about is how the cars are going to drive. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Is it going to be a fun season? Is it going to be a boring season? I know the off season has been exciting for all the wrong reasons. But that's Formula One. I guess we'll just wait and see. This has been your Monday video. I know I didn't bring any insights. I only brought opinions, but that's all I got right now until the first race, or at least some details. Testing. I do really want to see what's going on with the cars, how they test, and what if the W15 is actually awesome? What if Lewis Hamilton won in 2024 and then had to leave? Wouldn't that be weird? What if Russell won? That could happen. Especially with Red Bull being, out of sorts right now. Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's the future. Nobody knows the future. Okay. I think I've been rambling enough. I'm out.